Right to. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor McIntosh?
Here.
Councilwoman Martin?
Finally, here.
Councilman Slakta? Mayor Nelson? Councilman Simmons? Councilman Gibson?
Here.
Councilman Longcart?
Here. And we do have a quorum, correct, Audrey?
Yes, we do.
Good. Would you please read the case for us?
Okay, I'm going to read the first case, first and only case. It's PD 14-13810, Imperial Bonita Plaza, Commercial Plan Development. It's an amendment in District 6. I'm going to read the title block into the record. This is a zoning ordinance of the City of Bonita Springs, Florida, considering amendments to the Imperial Bonita Plaza Commercial Plan Development, CPD, to allow a 114-unit hotel motel, a 148-unit assisted senior housing facility, and approximately 10,000 square feet of miscellaneous office, retail, and service facilities on land located at 11761 through 11781 Sarah Drian Lane, Bonita Springs, Florida, providing for an effective date. I've reviewed the affidavit of publication, and it is legally sufficient. At this time, Jennifer Duvall-Hagen, at this time, Wayne Arnold will proceed with the case, and Jennifer will give a small history of the case first, but okay. All right.
Welcome, Wayne.
Good morning. I'm Wayne Arnold, professional planner with Grady Minor. With me today is Clay Winfield, who's one of the property owners of the project. I have Brent Addison, who is a professional engineer from our office, who's handling the civil engineering development order work for the site. Jim Banks is here. He's a traffic engineer, and he has prepared the traffic analysis for the site. And we are pleased to be here, have a short presentation that I can go through and talk to you about what we're proposing to do to this plan development.
Please.
The project is called Imperial Bonita Plaza. It was a previously approved CPD several years ago, and we've been involved in modifications previously, which actually took away a hotel in favor of adding back office space at the time. And this was back in the heyday before you had many of the road improvements in place that have now provided some extra capacity on our local roads. So unfortunately, the office project didn't move forward. The foundation is still partially in the ground out there. It did commence and had to stop, unfortunately. But the proposal today is to come along and add back in the hotel. We also have a senior housing provider that would do a combination of independent housing units, dependent housing units, and memory care that would be on a portion of this, and then we have a small other miscellaneous retail and office area. Jen, can you help me? Which way do I need to go to advance? Okay, that one. Thank you. Okay. The property that's called Lot 5 of Imperial Bonita is outlined in yellow. It has two finger frontages that go all the way to Bonita Beach Road, and it extends south behind what was the former Albertsons building. And it's, I think you all hopefully can see it, but it's that area. And the subject amendment affects only that portion of the CPD. The balance of the CPD is outlined in orange, and you can see that it goes all the way over to Imperial and as far south to include all of the water management area that's been provided for the project. This is the CPD master plan as it exists today, very much a bubble plan. What we're proposing to do is to create a much more specific plan for what's known as Lot 5. And I'll just take you through what we're looking to do. Beach Road is here. This would be the hotel site. So you come in off Bonita Beach Road to a hotel site. All the way in the rear, that's adjacent to the Albertsons building, would be the senior housing, and it overlooks preserve and water management to the rear. And then this, of course, is our small miscellaneous parcel. And a very important feature that was brought up by your zoning board is the interconnection with the Home Depot. And that is conditioned by staff, again, as being part of the first development order. And your staff can confirm, but the development order has been approved, and it's pending approval of this zoning hearing. And the improvement has been bonded. So, whether this moves forward or not, and we believe it will, but the money's been bonded so that the city could actually perfect that interconnection if need be. But I think that's been kind of an important part of the project. Our zoning board hearing, the minutes were in your packet. several questions about access, and I think with the interconnection, we actually have greatly improved access with an interconnection to the traffic signal that serves the Home Depot. And of course, we have 2 access points on Bonita Beach Road, and then we have access over through the parking lots to Imperial. With regard to other matters, there's a condition in there regarding gopher tortoises. The site previously had a gopher tortoise take permit, but the inactivity on this portion of it, some additional burrows were found, and we'll have to get a take permit again, and that's been conditioned as part of the development order. We also went to the Tree Advisory Board. There were 4 heritage trees on this site that, unfortunately, given the change in direction, those were the locations of the heritage trees on the site, and the zoning board felt that it was just more efficient if we would make a commitment to go and replant 4 20-foot tall oak trees in the preservation area. We were willing to incorporate them as part of the landscape, but your tree advisory board and the zoning board felt that it was probably more prudent to just put them in the preserve area where they could be protected long-term and not have to worry about impacts with parking lots and curbs and things of that nature. So that's kind of the short summary of where we are. There were no parties of record. Nobody from the public spoke, so I'm happy to answer questions, or if you have questions of our team, we're happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Janet, Tree Advisory Board, good?
Yes, they were, absolutely. You know, they've been dealing with how so many of the tree requirements have, as those trees grow, you know, you've got curbing problems and the roots start breaking up pavement, so they were very pleased that, you know, that they could come to this agreement that they would move the trees into a preserve area.
And Mike, we're okay on gopher tortoises? I read the report. You good? All right. Bill, Mike? Good. Jen, anything to add?
I just need to read the conditions, not the conditions, but some of my stuff into the record if I can.
Please.
For the record, Jennifer Dufala-Hagan, planner with community development. I'm not going to do the entire presentation since Wayne's given a pretty good overview. They just have to read the nitty-gritty into the record. The request in the, from the applicant is to amend the portion of the CPD for Imperial Bonita Plaza for a 114-unit hotel motel, a 148-unit assisted living facility, and approximately 10,000 square feet of office, retail, and service facilities. Staff is recommending approval. The project, as we discussed, is located at within the commercial plan development of Imperial Bonita on Bonita Beach Road and Imperial. The surrounding property and the future land use have all been found compatible in the last few cases. And again, none of those are changing, just the request to add the assisted facility and also the hotel would be the only amendment. Staff did find, and it was not rectified, it was discussed at the zoning board that one of the uses on the schedule of uses that the applicant had requested was for a shooting range. Staff did not see that that was compatible with the other uses on the site, so we were recommending that to be striked from the schedule of uses, and staff did comprehensively put together a clear schedule of uses in the past. There were a lot of amendments to the plan development. It was kind of hard to track it. So with this request, there is now a clear schedule of uses. Again, we discussed the conditions of approval. The property is compatible, and the requested uses are compatible with the surrounding property. It is consistent with the future land use category, which is general commercial. And staff has found it to meet the intent of the Land Development Code and the comprehensive plan, so therefore we are recommending approval.
I do have one other question.
Janet.
Yes,
I do have a question at this
Yes.
time. And I saw in the documents about the bicycles and pedestrian connectivity.
Yes.
Is there any thought process, as since this will be a motel and a facility where people will be living, that can they put a trail into the preserve area as long as they're not removing any trees to make this more enticing that people could take a walk through that area?
May I try to weigh in?
Sure.
Please.
For the record, Wayne Arnold. Just to point out, I believe that the conservation easement that's over the preserve presently would permit that, subject to non-removal of trees. So I don't know that we're planning to do that necessarily, but it is an option.
It is an option. Okay.
Any other comments, questions? There are no parties of record and no interested parties at the zoning board. Just for the record and to remind, the zoning committee did vote unanimously to support the community development decision. And I do want to compliment community development. We had a comment from the owners that your group did a great job, John, leading them through it, making sure that all the pieces fit together. So thank you very much for that. Any other questions or comments? Let's vote. Ready to go.
Motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call.
Councilman Gibson?
Aye.
Councilman Longcart?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor McIntosh?
Aye.
Councilwoman Martin?
Aye.
Any other questions, comments? We're out of here.
Thank you very much.